Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are in the world watching this. I am here today along with a number of friends at the Glenfinnan monument on Loch Shiel. And so we start here, good reference down here somewhere, and we're going to be paddling that way, all the way along Glen Shiel. The only problem is that it's 4 o'clock just now and we've still got a couple of hours before we push off. So we'll be paddling about 10 k's tonight, setting up camp. So come along, have some fun, enjoy the video. The Loch Shiel Circuit is located on the west coast of Scotland near a village called Fort William. West of Fort William, the start point is at the Glenfinnan village. From the pier we start off our first leg, which is 10 k's to campsite 1. From campsite 1 we'll continue the trip, take a tour around one of the islands, onto campsite 2. We'll navigate the sea step which takes us to campsite 3, and then the trip comes to a finish. Enjoy. And in a bit of a fashion, we're off. Okay, so there's 9 of us on the trip and we're all here now. It is 18:13, 13 minutes past 6. We've probably still got about another 20 minutes before we hit the actual paddling, and then it's 10 k's to the campsite, or that's the target campsite. Enjoy. Okay, so this is early May 2024 and today's probably that's Martin to you, right to my left. I'll introduce you to Martin later on in the trip. Anyway, this is early May 2024. Today is the probably warmest day of the year so far, and it's like 20 plus degrees. And it's well after 6 o'clock at night just now, and it's really toasty warm. There's a small group of us just saying how warm, nice warm breeze it is coming down the loch. Okay, so I think you can tell by the lack of light we're coming into the campsite a little later than planned. So the time just now is 8:30, thereabouts. We did plan to be off the water for 8 o'clock, but we've kind of made an assessment that we couldn't get an alternative campsite, so we've pressed on to the original one, which I think has been a good choice. Anyway, we're rocking into the campsite. It's gorgeous. Okay, so we've rolled into camp pretty late. I'll show you outside. and I'll show you my dinner. Right, this is a bit of a campsite, Ginganguli. We're having a few beers, it's kind of late on, and I'm going to introduce you to Martin. So it's over to Martin. Hold on, Martin. Here comes Martin.
G'day. Well, we're on the banks of the lovely Loch Shiel. It's 11:15. I'm having my dinner. Life's good. We've got beers, we've got fire, we've got beers. Cheers.
Well, good morning from campsite. The breakfast today, or the plan for the breakfast for this morning is, we've got eggs, cheese, salmon, bananas and wraps. So it's cheesy eggs, a little bit of salmon, all in a wrap, yum yum. Okay, so here's the breakfast. You won't be able to see it too much, but we've got, you can see the 3 eggs obviously. There's a little bit of oil over here floating about, and there's some of the cheese. So that's cheesy egg. And then we'll put some salmon through that, and then it's all going to go into a wrap. And whilst I'm blethering, we've got the water boiling for the coffee. Yum yum. Okay, there we go. There's the first wrap. Cheesy egg and salmon with some fresh coffee. Yum yum. Okay, back on Loch Shiel. This is day 2 of 3, possibly 4, not too sure. Anyway, it's glorious out here on the loch. It's starting to come mill pond flattish. There's a slight ripple. There's a tour boat that's just went past us. So in the background you can hear the birds tweeting, the geese giving it wild day. It's a great start, it's a great morning. Great morning here on Loch Shiel. So we've just stopped for some a livingses. It was rather nice. Some coffee, bananas, chocolate. Yum yum. I think that's going to be a bit of my catchphrase. Yum yum. Can't help myself, can't help myself. I tell you what, we are having a fantastic, gentle, gorgeous paddle on Loch Shiel. And as you can see by the stroke and cadence of the strokes, we're just drifting, man. It's fantastic. Having a bit of a laugh. And see when you just get that minute of silence, you're just tuning into the sort of birds. And I love it, I've said it before. The cuckoos, the geese. Can you hear that? It's fantastic. And then the next thing that I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to blend my stroke sequence so that it's quiet. And the blade's just gliding in the water, forwards, backwards. And there's something about that. I've got to say, there's something about that. Anyway, Loch Shiel, fantastic.
Oh, sorry, not sorry. Yeah, you go sideways. Sorry, but not sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. Okay, yeah, but sideways just to annoy you. Huh?
So I think this is St Finnan's graveyard on a little island. I'll put the name of the island down here somewhere. It's like a powerful, spiritual, it's an emotional feeling. There must be 100 people, 100 graves on this island, buried here through the centuries. And I think somebody was laid to rest here in 2024, this year. Powerful stuff. Have I told you I've got a new tent? Let me show you around campsite. Right, okay, so this is a campsite 2 on day 2. How's that for a view down the loch? And this is us coming into the canoe parking lot. And here is the campsite. Look at that marvellous tent there, that North tent, Vern 2 below the tarp. So I've got a tarp there just to sort of do some cooking if it turns poor weather. I mean, I've done the cooking in my tent anyway, but I'm just spicing it up tonight. So I've got a ridge line, trucker hitches, clove hitches, knots. Did I tell you I've got a new tent? Right, joking aside, I mean, I got this tent for this reason. I've just got a pure kit bomb. Because it's really a good tent, it's got vestibules both sides, great bit of space, height. Oh, love it, I love it. Okay, so for tonight's dinner we have got some chicken, and there's red pepper and red chilli, one whole red chilli in there. And I'm going to mix in some fragrant pad thai, yum yum, and some gorgeous jasmine rice with a little pudding of some ambrosia rice pudding. So that's the sauce in with the chicken, and it just something that looks fantastic. So I'm going to add the rice, jasmine rice. I'm going to add that to the pot too. So just so you know, I've got my two doors open because there's not a lot of wind. So I've got a great view there. And this side, how stunning is that, folks? Now there's a little bit of a light breeze, and I've got a little bit of protection. Stunning view. Gorgeous, love it. Life is good. Okay, so there you go, tonight's dinner. Chicken pad thai sauce with jasmine rice. Okay, good morning folks, here's breakfast. Breakfast is ready. Blueberry burst breakfast. Well, good morning again. Loch Shiel, day 3 I think it is. Is it day 3, guys?
Day 3.
Day 3? So we're just leaving the campsite from last night, and let me tell you something, it's fair to say that it rained most of the night. Is it fair to say it rained most of the night, guys?
Yeah, pretty much, until about 6, maybe 5 this morning.
Yep. So till about 5 or 6 o'clock this morning it rained, and the forecast was 10% rain. Well, it's more like 10% chance of staying dry. But that didn't dampen our spirits, did it, Martin?
Absolutely not.
We've left the campsite and we've left no trace. I've done about 3 or 4 sweeps, and I've even picked up additional litter that was there, so we're all in a good place. The farmer came down and had a word with us this morning, and he was alright, he was fine. He just said, leave it as you found it, which of course we do. And we're heading to Castle Teerum today for another campsite tonight. We'll get the taps up, some nice food hopefully. We'll see you later.
It's day 3, it's 25 past 10. We're still in Loch Shiel. We had a great camp last night, albeit it was a little wet. We had a hard day paddling into the wind. So early camp, all set up, rain came on, got a fire, a couple of beers, maybe a few too many. That was a good camp. We've set off, we're now heading for the sea, and James is going to remind me what castle we're going to.
Castle Teerum.
Castle Teerum. We're going to hit that at low tide-ish, so it could be an interesting descent down the rapids. But we'll just take our time getting there, there's no rush, do a bit of fishing, enjoy the company, and yeah, all good.
Okay, that's us coming to Shiel Bridge, and it's getting rather shallow here. Rather shallow. So that's us leaving Loch Shiel and coming to the road bridge and entering the river system. It's not much of a river, I don't think. Can you hear the bird song? Echo. Hello.
It's all part of the excitement, isn't it? That's the pollen line, look at that. I know.
Do you know what I just heard in my head?
Yeah?
Banjos. Are you hearing them now?
Oh, look at that, guys. That's beautiful there. Look at this. Look at the reflection.
Oh, it's T-bone.
I know, but look at it. I know. You've got to stop before I spoil it.
Oh, you're too late. You've spoiled it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
There's a wee. Ooh. Everybody go for the explore.
A wee fishing pool. That is just something else, isn't it?
That's nice. Loch Shiel eventually flows into the River Shiel, and the River Shiel eventually meets the sea. The River Shiel narrows considerably as it meets the sea, almost to about 10 metres wide. Where the river meets the sea, and depending on what the tides are doing, will depend on how navigable the rapid is. So for example, if the tide is low, the pool is low, which creates a more steeper gradient from the river to the sea. It's also guarded by two curling waves or shoulders on a downstream V that are offset, which makes it quite tricky for a loaded canoe. And it adds a risk that if you do try and shoot it, there's a good chance that you might capsize and spill all your gear into the sea. So when we arrived stretch of water, it was 1 hour past low tide. There was a significant gradient drop going into the sea. So we portaged all the gear and equipment past the feature. We allowed the tide to come in, which raised the level of the pool, which really flattened it out, and we paddled the canoes down, packed up all our gear, and off we went to the campsite. So when you come to this section, try and coincide it with a high tide. Well, the good news is, we're now in the sea, canoeing in the sea. Yes, we've made it. So behind me is where Loch Shiel, the river system, eventually hooks up to the sea. And when we arrived at 1 hour past low tide, and there was a significant gradient to negotiate that was creating sort of two shoulders of rotating water. And we faffed about for some lunch, reported some of the kit down, and then in about 2 or 3 hours it kind of just sort of flattened out as the tide came in. So I guess my advice, if you're coming here to do this and you arrive certainly about an hour after low tide mark, if you've got the time, wait 2 or 3 hours and the tide will come in, it comes in really quickly and you'll be able to paddle it. Anyway, we're heading off to Castle Tyrone, I think it is. It's behind you. Let me show you. Right, for tonight's dinner we've got chorizo sausages, pepper, chilli, noodles, and there's some nice yum yum asparagus. I don't have a sauce though. Why should I have the sauce? Why was I not thinking about sauce? Anyway, that's for tonight's dinner. Here's dinner. This is chorizo sausage, chorizo sausage, peppers, chilli, and asparagus. I don't know if I've got enough. I tell you something, I am absolutely famished. I am really ready for this, guys. Looks good though. Good evening from the castle. You probably won't be able to see it. What a gorgeous night. Gorgeous place. It's beautiful. What a great day we've had today. Coming from Loch Shiel onto the river and then hitting the sea. And we've arrived at this little beautiful campsite. Really gorgeous, stunning, scenic. Love it. I tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut some drone.
The water sprite. Deep beneath the waves and froth of the river flowing fast, lives a sprite of mischievous intent, her dark desire, her driving force. Dressed in green, tiny and slight, soft flowing hair like moonlight, a gently floating river flower, mystical, ethereal, she will take over your mind. A promise, a glimpse is all she will give, a sigh like a kiss placed gently on your ear. A shiver of pleasure runs through you, and all of your senses will come alive. She is all you will think of, by day in your paddle, by night in your sleep. And in your dreams she will find you, and gently enchant you with her song, binding your soul to hers, to live forever in the water deep.
Does that breakfast look? So we've got eggs, avocado, smoked salmon, wrap, a little bit of cheese. So good. Well, good morning from a campsite, not campsite, we've actually struck camp and it's 25 to 9, so we're on the water at 8:30, all breakfast, fed water, changed and ready for today. So we've got about 5 k's or so to paddle that way, but it's really windy. We had a little meter, and it was showing like gusts of 13 to 14 miles an hour. So it's going to be a little bit challenging. The temperatures dropped dramatically, so I've got a nice cag on. The adventure's going to finish today. Pretty sad about that, but equally excited that it's been a great time. Anyway, into the wind. If you made it here so far and you like this, think about giving it a thumbs up. It helps the channel. If you like these adventures, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Anyway, on with the journey. Right, okay, super close up, so almost at the end of the trip with the motley crew of Caroline, Lorna, Joseph, Ian, Sean, Martin, Chris, Jim and myself. Crikey Mikey, have I missed everybody out? It's going to be brutal if I did. Anyway, coming to journey's end. Okay, so that's us just finishing off with the packing up, canoes on the roof and getting ready to rock and roll. This was the Glenfinnan circuit. Listen, if you enjoyed this, think about giving it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. Did you like the food? Did I tell you I've got a new tent? Catch you later, hasta luego.
To show you what this is good for. This is the so like.
Oh!
Marshmallows by the fire, yum yum.
Nom 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 nom.